Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to day 20 of our journey through the devotional study for the Bait of Satan by John Bevere. So glad to see you today. Our topic for today, forgiveness. Forgiveness. You don't give, you don't get. That's the topic for today. And our scripture comes from the book of Mark, the 11th chapter, the 24th through the 26th verse, and it says, "Therefore I say to you, whatever things you ask when you pray, believe that you receive them and you will have them. And whenever you stand praying, if you have anything against anyone, forgive him, that your Father in heaven may also forgive you your trespasses. But if you do not forgive, neither will your Father in heaven forgive your trespasses." And if you're following along in the book, we're reading chapter 11. We're on chapter 11, and we're stopping at the heading, The Unforgiving Servant. The Unforgiving Servant. All right. So it says, let's turn our attention to the consequences of refusing to let go of offense and how to get free from offense. So we've been talking about identifying offense in ourselves, helping us to get an wrap our arms around what it means to be offended. Some of us were identifying offenses that we didn't realize we were carrying, but now we're switching our gears and we're going to be turning our attention to the consequences of refusing to let it go and how to get free over these next 10 days. It's Jesus meant it when he said, "But if you do not forgive, neither will your Father in heaven forgive your trespasses." And as you're reading in the book, it talks about how now, we might say a thing and we don't always mean it. Or we go to discipline our children and we'll say, if you don't do such and such, I'm going to spank you. But they never get the spanking. Or, you better stop it or else I'm going to get you. And nothing ever comes of it. And it says it's conditioned us to believe, that consequences aren't real. But regarding this issue of forgiveness, the author of the book wants us to understand that the consequences are real. Jesus is very specific and very intentional in telling them and telling us through the book that if we choose not to forgive those people who are in our lives, if we hold on to offenses and we hold on to unforgiveness, it disallows God from being able to forgive us, right? We think about unforgiveness and we consider it maybe a character flaw or, something that I'm going to work on. But he really emphasizes in this chapter that unforgiveness is flat out sin. It's flat out sin. It's something that we have to come out of. We have to make a decision to come out of, right? And it says when Jesus speaks, he wants us to take him seriously. We cannot view what he says the way we view the other authorities or relations in our lives. When he says something, he means it. He is faithful even when we are faithless. He walks at a level of truth and integrity that transcends our culture or society. So when Jesus said, "But if you do not forgive, neither will your Father in heaven forgive your trespasses," he meant it. He meant it. It's not a character flaw. It's not a choice. It's not something that I need to take my time to figure out. It's sin, and we need to come up out of it, right? So the question it asks us are you taking Jesus seriously? Are you forgiving others so that you might receive forgiveness? Are you taking it seriously? I know that some of us, I hold grudges, or you might come from a family that holds grudges. Or, that you don't ask for forgiveness. You consider that to be weakness. I'm asking you to examine your own heart, examine the word, and come up out of it. It says, when your heart is filled with unforgiveness, there is no room in it to receive God's forgiveness. So our final exercise for this week is to write a prayer where we are asking God to enable you to truly forgive the people who have offended you, so that you will be able to receive God's forgiveness. We're going to ask God to enable us. We can't do it necessarily in our own strength. So God, I'm making a choice to forgive them. Enable me to make that choice be an earnest one in truth, not just me saying it. Help me to be able to forgive. All right. That's it for this week. We return on Monday with day 21. And if you are looking for a church home, a place to serve on this Sunday, New Life Ministries is open. We have plenty of room for you. We start around 10, as the pastor says, around 10 o'clock in the morning. And we would love to have you. Otherwise, have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.